Kate Northrup, author of Money, a Love Story, and I'm here with the Money Love Story series and my friend Rochelle Schieck, who is just so beautiful and radiant. And if you do nothing else, you really need to follow Rochelle on Instagram. Her life is so amazing. And she is the creator of Qoya, which is a movement form that combines sensual movement and yoga and dance, and it's like one of the most ecstatic experiences to take a Qoya class. She trains Qoya teachers all over the world. She leads retreats just like to Peru and to India, and amazing, amazing, amazing woman. So thank you for being here, Rochelle.
Thank you, Kate.
I so appreciate you being part of this series. And the idea for the series, for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, is that I wanted to have some of my friends who have a bit of a platform, a bit of a, how would you call it? Like, you know, just people who... A what?
A community.
A community, thank you. People who have a community to share their own experiences with money, because the more we all talk about money in an open way, in a conscious, loving way, the more your community, our communities, will be inspired to do the same thing in their own lives. And when people relate to their money in a conscious, loving way, that changes the world, because it's such a strong foundation to create an awesome life when you know what's going on with your money. And Rochelle, you know my story. I've had like a lot of ups and downs, and as we've been doing these interviews, you know, a lot of people have had a lot of ups and downs, and the point of the Money Love Story is not to be at a point where you can say, yes, now I'm finished with my Money Love Story and everything's perfect. So, you know, because like that's not the case in my life, and I wouldn't actually believe anybody who said it was the case in theirs. So I'd love to know, just to get started, you know, kind of backing up all the way back to the beginning, what did you learn or experience or witness around money while you were growing up?
When I was growing up, it was an interesting dynamic because I had a single mom and she worked very hard, but she also did really well. So there was this idea of splurging. So it was like she was always, I have all these memories of her like doing the bills and kind of like these comments like, you know, well, you can't have everything you want and you have to work hard and like all these things. But then every once in a while out of the blue, there'd be this splurge and be like a shopping spree and, you know, and get all these things. And then my mom also really indulged around like every holiday. So it's like Valentine's Day, there'd be like a basket of all these gifts. And so it was this interesting sort of mixed message of like, things around money are, it's like struggling and hard because she worked so hard. She, you know, she was working like 60, 70 hours a week. But then there was also this like indulgence part as well. Mm-hmm. So it definitely set the stage.
Interesting. And then as you grew up, went to school, left home, all of those things, how did that impact your experience around money in your early 20s, say?
Well, as I'm sharing it, I'm realizing it was really a repetition of that pattern. So when I went to college, I was supporting myself and working full time and really struggling, like to the point of like giving plasma, trying to get by in college. And then at the same time, it would be like, okay, I was so proud of myself, or like just needed to reward myself in a way that I'd worked so hard or did well in school. So it'd be like, okay, I'm going to charge and go on a tour and see like 10 Dave Matthews Band and Ben Harper concerts in a row, and then I'll just pay it off later. But like it was this like work ethic, but then this indulgence. So it was both at the same time.
Yeah. Very interesting. Now, and then I know you and I met while you were working in New York, and then you've gone on to found your own business, which is a pretty big deal. It's, you know, it's a financial leap of faith. So where did you gather that faith and confidence to know, you know, this is the work I want to do in the world. I'm going to go out there and I know it's going to work out. Like, where did that come from?
I had this thought one day where I was in a challenging financial situation, and I just decided that I was going to consider myself on the universe's payroll. So instead of, you know, like instead of like applying for a job and working and they would pay me, that I would just show up in the world and I would do my work, and that my work wasn't just in creating my own business or any job that I had, but it was also in like the people that I was with, or picking up trash on the beach, or just like I worked for the universe. I didn't work for an employer, and just had faith that it would work out. And I basically decided to live life as an experiment. Like, I'm just going to do this. Like, I'm going to show up as love. I'm going to do my sacred work, whatever that is in any moment. And I'm just going to, as an experiment, see if that works out financially.
Yeah.
And is what I found is the more that I surrendered to that concept, the more things came through. It didn't always come through in like a linear, predictable manner, but the less I worried, the more I was taken care of. So it was really like releasing the worry and like aligning with that intention.
That's amazing. The less you worried, the more you were taken care of.
Yes, definitely, 1,000%. And in my meditations, when I've had questions about money, when I just, what should I do about this or that, that guidance I always get is like, will you please stop worrying? And furthermore, the message I got was, when you worry, it's like the problem isn't the situation, the problem is the worrying. Like, that's what's blocking. Like, the situation is not the problem. The problem is that you're worrying.
Wow.
And I've really, more so over the last year, have been doing that in my business. Yeah. Just if it feels right, I leap. I take that leap of faith, like you said. And so it's an interesting experiment. So far, so good. Definitely there's definitely challenges where how is this going to work out? But I just take my own advice and worry less.
Yeah, no, totally. And do you have a specific experience where like you've been, maybe down to the last $100 in your checking account, or, even perhaps less than that? I know I've had experiences like that where something happened where you were able to manifest. I know that you are like the most powerful manifestor on the planet, so I have to ask. I haven't asked anybody else this question, but this one's for you. Can you tell me a story of synchronicity or manifestation as it comes to money?
Yeah. The first one that comes to mind was the first one where it really happened. And so basically, after this time in college where I'm like supporting myself and working all these jobs, and then I graduate, well then the next thing is to get a job. So I go into corporate America. I lasted about 2 months.
I can only imagine.
And basically then I went to my boss and I was like, listen, when I'm here, I feel like a vacuum cleaner is coming and sucking out my soul. And I had to go to yoga at 6 a.m. and then yoga at 8 p.m. So before work and after work, just to feel like myself. I could barely function. So then I decided, okay, after all this college debt and student loan debt, I was going to go become a yoga teacher. Yeah. So that was another I just knew in my bones I had to do it, so I went to go do it. So basically, I'm living off credit cards. One of my friends let me stay with her in Venice, and I did this training for 2 months, and then I came back, and it was like, okay, I have absolutely nothing and so much debt, and now I'm going to be a yoga teacher, so I'm going to be not making any money. So all these things came together, and then, but I sat with my heart. I was like, I know, even though on paper and money this looks horrible, I know this was the right thing to do. And I get home and I go through my mail because I've been gone for 2 months, and there's a piece of mail that basically my interest on my life insurance had accrued, and it was just like a couple $1,000. Wow. And I didn't even know I had life insurance. But basically is what happened is my mom had transferred it over when I was 18 to my name. Sure. She's just like, I paid for this while you were a child. It's yours now. And I had no idea. She had no idea that it would do that. And I was like, no, you transferred it to my name. This is mine. And it was just this amazing chunk so that I could actually focus on teaching yoga and do all those things. And then, teaching yoga became the foundation of my job for the next 10 years, and then the foundation of creating my own business 10 years later. Yeah. And so it was like, if I wouldn't have taken that leap, but then also it was like in the depth of my faith, money actually fell out of the sky. I was like, I never even heard about that life insurance thing again. It was like a weird check.
That's amazing. That's a great story. That's a great story. I love that. Now, so in the day-to-day running of your business,
Yeah.
How does your relationship with money come into play? Like, are there certain financial consciousness practices that you do? Is it more, jump in the net will appear? Like, how does that go on a day-to-day basis, like planning your retreats and teacher trainings and stuff?
Well, the main thing for me, it's interesting as you ask that, is what I teach is actually how I make my decisions on money, which is basically like, what is the physical sensation of being aligned with your higher self, truth, the divine, and what does that feel like in your body? So there'll be things where it's like I'm trying to decide how much something is going to cost or how to deal with a situation where there's there's a squabble over money or, there's something like it's kind of sticky. And it's like I just really tune into my body and it's like, well, how does this feel? And look for that place where it resonates. And sometimes there'll be opportunities, like there was this opportunity to lead a retreat in Bali. And it was kind of like, oh, I'll plan everything. I've got the clients, like all these things. It'll be so easy. And everything, my body was like, no, this isn't right. And I have no idea why, but I, from the outside, passed up a really lucrative business opportunity, but I said it doesn't feel right. And then there's times where something like financially makes no sense, but I'm just like, I know it's the right thing to do, and I'll leap. And then it might not be that retreat was financially lucrative, but there was a connection made or something else that, might be financially lucrative in the future, or it's just emotionally abundant. And I'm always working at becoming like more conscious in the financial parts, but then I'm also aware that my abundance is not just financial. So
beautiful. I love that. It's such a holistic approach. And it's it feels really like expansive to say, this is how I feel, and to trust that implicitly is a bold move.
Yeah.
It's a very bold move, especially when it comes to business. And I really honor and applaud you for that. It's amazing. Yeah. And so for you, as you're growing your business, as you're, you just moved like 3 days ago to Venice. Rochelle has been on this worldwide tour for 2 years. Yeah, that's for 2 years. So amazing. Just traveling the world, having adventures, building her business. So what is the next frontier for you when it comes to your money love story? Like, where's the growth edge?
Well, the growth edge is to keep reading this book. I love it because, thank you for honoring me for having a holistic approach to money, but that's what I love about your book. And one of my favorite things about your writing and just who you are as a person is like the keeping it real aspect. Like, just the way starting this interview, it's like, it's not like we all have it together and we all have it perfect, but like releasing that. So the next part of me and my story is actually, I was really inspired by your book to basically, now that I have a home, to like get files.
Nice.
and have like a Money Mondays sort of thing, and like really sit down and look and become more present with that, where sometimes, I'm present with it because I have to be running my business, but I'm also sometimes like the shadow side of trusting so much is I can, become a little bit oblivious.
Yeah.
And so this is really just taking, the extra effort of having structured time to pay attention to my business and getting like a group of other entrepreneurs or people who want to take that journey with me, like you recommend in your book as well.
Cool.
And then I'm really excited to create, like my business is at this point right now where it flows, but I want to create it so that it can flow for other people, like where I can hire staff and put things into the world and create a really unique business structure around my values with money and the way. And I've had some visions about that. So I'm really excited to take this next journey into developing my business. It's been a passion project, but now to also expand it into a sustainable business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's really cool. Well, I'm excited to witness that and to support it along the way. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your money love story. I really appreciate you being here. And for those listening, if you want to hear more money love stories, visit moneyalovestory.com. And over there, you'll be able to find other amazing people like Rochelle sharing from their heart. And also, if you buy my book, you will find that you can get free access to a course I'm teaching called A Course in Having Enough, where I'll have guest experts Barbara Stanny, who wrote Overcoming Under Earning, Amanda Steinberg, who's the founder and CEO of dailyworth.com, and Marianne Williamson, who many of you are familiar with her work. And so come over to moneyalovestory.com, find out more about the book, find out more about the Money Love Story series, and join me for that course. And Rochelle, thank you so much for being here. Find out more about Rochelle at Rochelle Schieck. No, it's not. It's wisewildandfree.com or wisewildfree.
wisewildfree.com and RochelleSchieck.com.
Thank
They
you.
go to the
Okay.
same place.
Perfect. RochelleSchieck.com, wisewildfree.com. Go find out about Qoya and take a class in a city near you or join in on one of the retreats. Thank you, love. I so appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Kate. Congratulations. I'm so excited for this journey for you and all the people that will benefit from you doing your sacred work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.